Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, January 26, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shop Best Bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college basketball. First up, we go to the A-Sun as Stetson takes on Liberty. This one, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. You know, Stetson's a really fun team to watch this season. They score a ton of points, but they give up a lot of points as well. They're ranked 37th in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency. They shoot a ton of three-pointers, and they make them at really good rates. They're ranked right now 8th in the country, 39.1% as a team from three. Plenty of shooters above 40% this season. Luke Brown, 39 of 78 this year, 50% from three. So Stetson's a very fun offense, but the defense is just not good. Ranked 329th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They don't force many turnovers. They're not very good in the defensive glass. And I worry about that in these types of matchups. On the road, a true road game here against the best team in the conference in Liberty. You know, they're 7-1 in conference play, the Flames are, and they've had success against Stetson in recent years. This is a Liberty team that's ranked 2nd in the country in defensive rebounding. I think that's going to really help them in this matchup, as Stetson's the type of team you want to hold to one shot per trip. If you give Stetson these second chance looks, especially these wide open shots from the corner on an offensive rebound, you're in trouble. You know, Stetson will make their open threes. So I like the fact that Liberty is good on the defensive glass. They're a good defense overall, and even their offense, which is not as strong as we've seen in recent years, they still got one of the best scorers in college basketball in Darius McGee, 42.3% from three this season, a guy that can score basically anywhere on the court, a great playmaker as well, and they're still 15th in the country in effective field goal percentage. The reason why Liberty's not really scoring a ton of points per game, per se, is because they slow things down. They're ranked 345th in average possession length on offense, so they're holding their opponents. You look at their last 4 games, they held Northern Alabama to 54 points, Central Arkansas 62, Jacksonville only 52 points scored, and then North Florida last time out 62 points. So this defense is in great form. The offense is doing enough to win these games comfortably by double digits pretty much every single time. Their only loss was an upset loss at Eastern Kentucky. Pretty solid team there. But overall, I like what I'm seeing from Liberty. I like the Stetson team. They're fun to watch, but I just don't think this is the good matchup for them. Give me the Liberty Flames laying the points in this one. Next up, we go to the Big Ten as Iowa takes on Michigan State. This one, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox Sports 1. You know, Iowa's coming off a tough game against Ohio State, a high-scoring 193-77, a game in which Iowa's defense was just not as sharp as it needed to be in a true road conference game, and it didn't help that the Buckeyes shot 50% from three, but I still think we could see a better performance defensively from the Hawkeyes. You know, this is a team that's, Michigan State is a team that has not really looked great as of late. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games overall, and this is just not a team I want to lay points with right now. You know, even at home, we saw at the beginning of the season, we saw Michigan State schedule a very tough non-conference schedule. We figured it would benefit them in conference play, and at first it did. You know, they started 4-1 in the Big Ten, but they played some of the weaker teams in the conference. Now you play Illinois, Purdue, Indiana. You struggle in those matchups. I think you can throw Iowa in the mix of those teams. I think they're one of the better teams in the conference this season, especially on the offensive side. 5th ranked in adjusted offensive efficiency. They don't turn the ball over much, a very good shooting team. And I also think Iowa's defense is underrated. When you look at the shot quality data, it does like Iowa, going forward. So I do think Iowa going to have a better defensive performance in this one. The offense will still be there. I think they at least cover the number, if not win this game outright. So I'm going to take the Iowa Hawkeyes plus the points. Next up, we go to the Pac-12 as Arizona takes on Washington State. This one, 11 o'clock Eastern on Fox Sports 1. You know, Washington State's a very tough team to beat when they're playing at home, and even when they're losing record right now at 9-12 overall. We've seen earlier spots this season where teams that have much better records and teams that are ranked in the AP polls go into Washington State and they struggle. We saw UCLA back on December 30th. They were big favorites in that game against Washington State. They barely won that game outright, and I think Washington State deserved to win that game. They were up by as many as 12. The only time their largest deficit was 5 points, and that was at the beginning of the game when it was 5-0. So I think Washington State's proven they can play with some of the tougher teams in the conference, especially when they're at home. And Arizona, when you look at these teams fundamentally, both teams good rebounding teams. Both teams have issues when it comes to turnovers, both offensively and defensively. They struggle taking care of the basketball. They don't really force many on the defensive end. The big difference is these teams play at a very different pace, a very different tempo. Washington State looks to slow things down. They're 335th in average possession length on offense. They're 296th on the defensive end. Arizona, they're 12th in the country. Very fast-paced offense and average possession length. So we're going to see which tempo wins the day. I think it's going to be the home team. I think Washington State's going to be able to slow down this game a little bit, and that should help them out. Control the possessions in this one. I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game, an underrated game here for this Thursday card in college hoops. I'm going to take the home team here. I think they pull off the outright upset. Give me the Cougars on the money line. Next up, we go to the WAC conference as Seattle takes on Sam Houston. This one, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Seattle is 7-0 in conference play this season. They're on an 8-game win streak overall. They're 16-4 this season. And Sam Houston State's been a solid team as well. They pulled off some upsets in non-conference play over Oklahoma and Utah. They're 5-3 in conference play. They're on a 3-game win streak, so this should be a great matchup. And although Seattle is the team right now that's favored to win the WAC conference, as I see in the bracketology, Seattle is usually the team that's representing the WAC. I do think that Sam Houston is still the best team in this conference, and I like their chances for a nice win and cover here at home. I think they match up pretty well with Seattle. I also like the fact that Sam Houston played a very tough non-conference schedule, 19th ranked in KenPom for strength of schedule and non-conference play. I think it's going to help them in these types of games, and I like the fact that this is a team that's ranked 4th in the country in turnover percentage on defense, a very good defense that forces mistakes from their opponents, and Seattle's a very good shooting team. They're going to take a ton of threes in these types of games, but Sam Houston's a good three-point shooting team themselves, 3rd in the country in three-point shooting as a roster, 40.2%. So I think this is going to be a very good game, but I think Sam Houston, it's also, when this team is good, when this program is good, it is a very tough place to play when Sam Houston is home. These fans are going to show up in a big way, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a very tough matchup for Seattle, and they haven't really been tested in this conference. When you look at their wins, you look at the teams that they play, they just haven't really played the tougher teams in the WAC. Yes, they have the win against Utah Valley on the road, but other than that, you look at their other 2 road games, UT Rio Grande Valley and UT Arlington, nothing special there. This is a tough spot here for Seattle. I'm going to take Sam Houston. I'm going to lay the points. And the final game for Thursday's card in college basketball, it's going to be Grand Canyon and Abilene Christian. This one, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Last year, these teams met, and it was a blowout win for Grand Canyon. It was a 95-68 final score, and I don't think we're going to see as much of a blowout in this game, but I still like the Antelopes' chances. I think this team just matches up really well with Abilene Christian. And ACU is a team we've made a good amount of money on this season, whether we faded them, taking the overs in some of their games. But in this spot, I do think it's good time to fade them. Coming off a nice win over UT Arlington, it was a good matchup for ACU, but Grand Canyon does a good job of taking care of the basketball, more so than most WAC teams do this season. They're also a really good offensive rebounding team. I worry about that with ACU, not a very good defensive rebounding team, so we can expect some second chance looks for Grand Canyon. I think they're going to be able to score pretty easily on ACU's defense, and sure, ACU's going to force 15, 20 turnovers a night. We know that, but I don't think it's going to be enough offense on the fast break for ACU to win this game. And Grand Canyon, very good defensive team, 26 in effective field goal percentage defense, 21st in two-point field goal defense. I don't like Abilene Christian's chances, so give me Grand Canyon here. I'm going to lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.